I love Miro Gallo. That's all my Kindle is good for. When I was watching Disney Channel, that was always like my favorite drop. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's one that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I am very excited to finally be filming it and bringing it to you guys. So today we are going to go through my Kindle and kind of do like a Kindle Unlimited library tour. I would love to do a full one of the books that I own on my Kindle that I've either downloaded for free or something like that. But there are 20 books because I have taken full advantage of Kindle Unlimited and how many books they allow you to get. So I do have all 20 that they allow you to essentially check out at one time. And I thought that that was a good starting point for my Kindle. If you don't know what Kindle Unlimited is, it is a service on Amazon that allows you to download books for free if you pay this monthly like subscription basically of, I think it's $8 or $9, but you can have up to 20 books checked out at once. I have a hair on my lip as per usual. Literally, what's new? It's kind of like a little library system where you can have 20 books checked out at once. You can return them at any time, and that doesn't mean that you can't ever get them back again. Like if you wanted to reread something, it's not an issue. If you like want a different book and you already have 20 you're already maxed out, you would just trade it for a different one. I really like the service. I think it's really cool. Authors put their books on there for, like I said, free. Like you don't have to pay for each individual ebook that you're getting, which is really nice. And sometimes they are available audibly, which is also super great. But yeah, that's kind of what Kindle Unlimited is. I really enjoy it. I think it's a great way to read ebooks, and if you're not loving something, it's risk-free in the sense that you haven't paid money for that individual book, and you can like see if you like it and then return it and get something else. So I also just wanted to add that if you do return something that you're not loving, the authors still get paid for it, because the way that Kindle Unlimited works is that the authors get paid per like page you read. I don't know exactly like how much they get paid, obviously, but it's nice because it's a way that the authors still get paid and it's not like book returning, which is pretty popular for some reason and I don't know why, but that's stealing, so don't do that. I personally would recommend Kindle Unlimited because basically if you read even like more than 2 books per month on ebook, for me justifies the price of like $10 a month. So that's what Kindle Unlimited is. Lots of options. I really utilize the romance genre. I feel like there's a ton of Kindle Unlimited romance, but there's also so much more on there that I haven't delved into, and maybe like that could be a fun video, me diving into like Kindle Unlimited science fiction or something. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, I have 20 to talk about, so we're just going to dive in. I made a bunch of notes just so that I could like have it ready and we could essentially talk about the cliff notes of all 20 of these books. All right, so starting in the romance section, this will be the longest section, but there could be like some fantasy books sprinkled in. I honestly don't know. The first one is Blame It on the Vodka. I think by Fiona Cole, maybe? I don't know. All of the books will have pictures popped up here, so if I can't remember the names of the authors, you can see them, and I always link them in the description below so you can check them out. But this one, I literally know nothing. I think I was on reading sprints with Stasia, or maybe it was like we were doing a FaceTime reading sprint, the 4 of us. I think that's what it was, and we were all reading books, and she was reading Blame It on the Whiskey, which is the 3rd book, and she told us all that we needed to read the series. It was so good, and she was reading it so quickly, so I instantly just downloaded the 1st book of the series. I have literally no idea what this is about, or maybe the 1st book is like Blame It on the Champagne. I don't know. Downloaded Blame It on the Vodka. I don't know if this is book 1 or not. I'll put Blame It on the Vodka up here, and then I will also put book 1 of the series. Yeah, this one I tried to do better with the rest of these, but on this one I have nothing for you for the synopsis. Then we have another one that's really bad and I don't know anything, but I have seen it everywhere on Reels, and that is Stay With Me. Again, I don't know the author. I literally know nothing about this book except that it has a white cover with black font and I've seen 1,000,001 people post it and include it in reels and posts on Instagram, and it makes me want to read it so bad because they say it's such an amazing series. I believe this is book 1 of a trilogy, and it is a romance, and that is all I know. I think it's heartbreaking, so can't wait for the catharsis and the tears that this will inevitably bring me. I'm hoping that I love it. It looks like one that I would love just based on the cover. And if I do love it, I will be more than happy to purchase a physical copy because this cover is so stunning. The whole series, all the covers are just absolutely beautiful. I know a little bit more about this next one, but not by much. Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela something? I don't know. This one I've heard is a dark romance. It is a duology, and these covers are beautiful, which is what initially drew me in. I recently heard Princess of Paperback talk about it in her video. I think it was like a TBR or a wrap up, and say that she really loved it. I started making notes at this point, so I do have a little bit more information, but not tons. This one is an age gap romance between the nanny of this guy's daughter, and it's their like romance. I believe he's 31, I think, and there's like 15 years between them or something. I don't know, again, or maybe he's like 36 and she's 18, I don't remember. But I've heard amazing things about this one as well, and I really want to read it. It sounds so interesting, and it sounds like it could get me out of my reading slump, so I'm very excited. Another one where I was influenced by Instagram Reels. I don't watch TikTok, but I am on Bookstagram, BookTube, all of the things, minus TikTok, just because I've seen how invested people get on TikTok, and I already spend so much time scrolling on Instagram that I would get nothing done. I'm not shaming anybody who's on TikTok. I just know that if I were to get that invested, it would not be good for me. So I've elected to stay off of that platform. But this one I have seen so many people include on Reels, and that is Flock by Kate Stewart. I looked at the details on Kindle Unlimited to see like what this book was about because I downloaded it knowing absolutely nothing. And this is actually a modern take on Robin Hood, which is very interesting. I've never read a Robin Hood retelling, so this sounds so much fun. I know that they exist. I've heard of like Sherwood by Megan Spooner, I believe, but this would be my first Robin Hood retelling, and it is book 1 in the Raven Hood series, and the like little blurb at the top that like kind of gives you a gist but not too much information kind of thing said that it is a bad boys / anti-heroes kind of romance series. And if you've been following along with my weekly reading vlogs, then you would know that I recently read Savage Lover by Sophie Lark, and I love Miro Gallo. So the bad boy like romance trope is so appealing right now. Then another one that I have seen everywhere, not even just like Instagram Reels, is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, I believe. This one is a billionaire romance. I believe it's a duology, and the second one is called The Fine Print. Initially, honestly, the cover drew me in because, did I say The Fine Print? I meant Terms and Conditions. This one is The Fine Print, but the sequel is Terms and Conditions. I don't know why that needed to be so convoluted for me. This one is a romance in where the billionaire, he essentially owns like Disneyland or Disney World type of theme park, that scale. I don't know what the female protagonist does, nothing. I just know that that is what he does, and I don't think I've ever read a billionaire romance. Like, I've read the royalty trope before, but never a billionaire. So this, I will be interested to see how I like it and if I like that trope, if that's something that I'm interested in. Because I'm still very new to the romance genre, even though I have been reading quite a lot of it. So I haven't fully explored so many of the popular tropes. So I'm really excited to get to a lot of these because I think it will be fun to really see where my tastes lie and what kinds of things I align with and what things I absolutely don't. One of the prettiest covers and a newer release is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I was scrolling through Amazon, and this author actually has so many books out. and it looks like they also have like some thrillers out, which is very cool, especially because I'm in a thriller mood, even though I'm just listing off romance essentially right now. This one I've heard is very heartbreaking, and I've also heard quite a few like mixed reviews, but I initially downloaded it because Elle and I want to do a buddy read of it, which sounds so exciting. I would love to buddy read this one with Elle. But it's basically about Knox and Naomi, and Knox is not like a people person at all. He doesn't like drama. Nothing complicated is not his thing. So when Naomi comes into town, she is a runaway bride visiting and staying with her estranged twin. So that is all I know about this. I did not know that that was the premise of this one, but it makes me even more excited for this book. And I might be texting Elle within the next few hours to tell her that we need to start our buddy read as soon as possible. Then another one where I bought into the hype. I do know like the biggest trope of it, but I don't really know the plot. And that is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. This is part of her Twisted series. And I believe there are currently 4 books out, or the 4th book is coming out very, very soon. This is one where I saw so many people talking about it. I know that I'm pretty sure that the first book is following like the brother's best friend trope. And that when I was watching Disney Channel, that was always like my favorite trope. Growing up, like I was a sucker for that. Those were always the couples that I was rooting for, so I have a feeling that I will love this trope. But other than that, I really don't know like anything. I think one of the other books in this series follows like a bodyguard romance, which is very fun. But yeah, I've heard amazing things about Anna Huang and this series, so I am super excited to dive into this one very soon. Then we have a Sophie Lark book, which I mentioned earlier, reading her Brutal Birthright series. This one is not a part of that series. This one is completely out of the mafia world she has created, and it is There Are No Saints. This is the first book. I don't know what the series is called, but it's a duology. This one is There Are No Saints, and I think the second one is something about the devil. I don't know. This is a serial killer romance with a starving artist. Basically, I did start this one. I'm actually 61% of the way through, and I just put it down for some reason. We are following Mara and Cole, I believe. Cole is an artist, but he is very much not starving. He is a millionaire, and he sells his art. What no one knows about his art is that he will kill people and then use different parts of them to include in his art, and then he's kind of masochistic in that he will sell it, or I guess that would be sadistic. Either way, kind of relishes in the fact that he has this secret and that nobody knows. And then Mara one day is kidnapped by his enemy at like this art show, and he ends up finding her, and she's almost dead. He walks away from her, somehow she survives, and that really intrigues him and essentially creates an obsession for Cole with Mara. Plot just goes on from there. It's a very bizarre book. There are so many content warnings, so please look them up before you decide to pick this up. But I will say that it's a very quick read. I read 61% of this in like just the span of a couple of days, and Sophie Lark has an amazing writing style, and I really like her romances, so I am excited to pick this one back up very soon, hopefully. Just because we are talking about Sophie Lark, we may as well talk about the other book that I have on here, and that is Broken Vow. This is the 5th book in the Brutal Birthright series. You can catch up on my vlogs for more information about this, but I also have a video coming soon where I read the entire series, so if you want to watch that, you can subscribe, but also don't feel pressured to. And that video will be coming at the end of this month, which I'm very excited about. But this is a bodyguard romance between Raylan and Riona, who is in the Griffin family, and she is the family lawyer for the Irish mafia in Chicago, and I love it. It's so good. I love Raylan and Riona separately, and then together. This book has just been so much fun. The Brutal Birthright series is set in Chicago following the Italian and Irish mob, as that's initially what it follows, and then you get so much more with like the Russian Bratva and the Polish something. I literally don't know how to pronounce that word, but the Polish mafia, and so many other things. It's a fun series. It's a good time. There are 6 books. I'm almost done with the series, and loving my time. Then another series that I need to start, and of course it's a dark romance because apparently that's all my Kindle is good for. That is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I have read one Penelope Douglas book and it was in 2020, which is so long ago, it feels like. This is the first book in the Devil's Night series. I don't really know much about this series. I know that Devil's Night is supposedly like the day before Halloween and like there's like a revenge plot going on. But aside from that, I know nothing. I know it's a dark romance and it is a series, and I think there might be a spin-off series. Don't quote me on that, but I've seen a lot of people post about this one and it's one that I've wanted to read for a really long time. So then this one has recently gotten really popular and I've seen it so much more, but I just want to say it. This one I didn't buy into the hype. I was following this author before this book was popular and have had it on my Kindle for probably 6 months. Haven't read it yet, but it's been there. So that's Guild by Raven Kennedy. This is the first book in the Plated Prisoner series, which is a King Midas retelling. Again, I'm pretty sure this one is a dark fantasy romance, so look up content warnings. Either way, just like look up content warnings for any of these books to err on the side of caution. I want you guys to be safe. But this one has gotten so many amazing reviews and I'm so excited to pick this one up. I've heard that they're longer books, but they don't feel long and you fly through them. So that makes me all the more excited to pick them up super soon. Then this is another one that I've had for probably the same amount of time as Guild, and that is Lore and Lust. I don't remember the author's name, but I got this recommendation from Princess of Paperback. Again, I get so many romance recommendations from her channel, but this one is a male vampire romance, I believe, which sounds so fun, and I like forgot that I had it on my Kindle, so I might need to read it this month because obviously June is Pride Month, but she said that this was one of the best vampire romances that she has ever read and that the smut was really good, so I'm super excited to read this one. I just think it's gonna be such a good time. Then we have Rhapsodic, which I feel like I saw everywhere in like December of 2021 and I haven't seen very much of lately. All I know about this one is that it is book 1 in the Bargainer series and that it has something to do with like debts and beads, and in order to like pay her debts, i.e. like the beads disappear, maybe she has to kill someone or something. I have no idea, but that's all I know. I know it has to do with debts and beads and it's book 1 in the Bargainer series. So I want to read it. It sounds very interesting. I've heard pretty good things about it, like here and there, but I'm pretty easy to please. So I feel like I could really love this one. You're making your video debut. Can I help you? Did sister take your toy or something? Is that why you were chirping? The next book is The Marionettes by Katie Wismer. This one I downloaded because I have followed the author for a very long time. I absolutely love her content. I watched her when she was making booktube videos and she has since transitioned to like authortube videos, but either way her content is amazing and following her journey has been so fun. So when she released this book, I automatically downloaded it on Kindle Unlimited. Well, maybe not automatically, but once I got Kindle Unlimited, I downloaded it. This one is a spicy vampire romance is how she like pitches it. Basically, if you liked Vampire Academy, you should like this one. This one just has a bit more spice to it. There are 4 books in the series and book 3 comes out really soon. And I know that she loves this series. She's put so much hard work into it, and so I'm just excited to read it and support her, and then hopefully soon buy physical copies because these covers are absolutely beautiful. Like, this is book 1, but I'm gonna pop a picture of book 2's cover and then book 3's cover. Like, you can't tell me they're not gorgeous. Then we have another one that I know nothing about, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one that I know nothing about, and that is The Ritual. Again, don't know the author's name, I apologize, but the picture is there. This one I have downloaded for a video, so I don't really want to know too much. And that video, I literally don't know when it's coming, so I won't make any promises, but it has a cool cover. I'm pretty sure it's a romance. And that's all I know. I feel like these covers are like similar, at least in my mind they are. We have The Never King. This is a dark Peter Pan retelling, and I also downloaded it because it's short. I saw it at the bookstore when I was there one day, and I saw like how short it was and that the cover was cool, and that was enough for me to try it on Kindle Unlimited. So, like I said, pretty easy to please. But in all seriousness, I do love a good Peter Pan retelling, and I love a dark Peter Pan retelling where Peter Pan is the bad guy. I love Once Upon a Time, although I did stop watching after this character was not there anymore. So, but I love Robbie K, love Once Upon a Time. He was my crush throughout, I think, my sophomore and junior year of high school. He was my celebrity crush, which is a choice, but only in the Peter Pan costume. Like, I only liked Peter Pan. Robbie K was like cool, but then I found out he had a girlfriend, so I was less interested. But Robbie K as Peter Pan in Once Upon a Time, that was all I could ever ask for. Don't know why, because he was very much a villain, but it's okay. But yeah, that is where my fascination and love of Peter Pan retellings came from, just in case anybody was ever wondering. And the last romance that we have to talk about, and then we have 2 more books and this video is done. Thank you all for sticking it out if you've made it this long. We'll put a camp, like a tent emoji in the comments if you've reached this video or all the way to the end, just to let me know if that you made it this far. But we have Dragon's Bride by Katie Roberts. This one, I was really intrigued by the cover. It kind of gives me like Ice Planet Barbarian vibes in that it's like a monster romance, even though that one is like alien, but like same kind of, like I feel like that's on the same level. I've read a few of Katie Roberts' books, so I wanted to pick this one up too. I've heard some mixed reviews about this. I'm still going to read it because honestly, I think the cover is beautiful. To each their own, obviously, but it gives me like historical romance vibes with a fun twist. So I know nothing about the plot of this one, but I like the author and I thought that the cover was intriguing. We'll say it that way. Moving on from the romance, we have The Risk. This is the first book in the Mind F series. This is another like serial killer romance with an FBI officer, but I think it focuses like more on the mystery part of things, which is why I'm not considering it like a romance, even though I'm pretty sure there is a romance element. But this just sounds very interesting, and I've heard that it's like Criminal Minds fan fiction, so that's very fun. And lastly, we have Never Never by Colleen Hoover and I think Taryn Fisher. This one is like a paranormal thriller, I'm pretty sure, and it came out as serial novels. I read Verity by Colleen Hoover a really long time ago and loved it, and then I read Too Late by Colleen Hoover and I hated it. So I am nervous about this one. I don't know if I will end up reading it soon or if I will end up just like returning it and never reading it. It is like on my want to read shelf on Goodreads, but like I said, I just don't know because of my past history with Colleen Hoover's thrillers. It's pretty hit or miss. Not sure where we'll fall with this one, but that is all I know about it. Those are all of the books that I have borrowed from Kindle Unlimited. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was entertaining. I thought it would be fun to kind of walk you through some of the books that I have gotten but don't like physically owned. I haven't spent money on each of the individual books, and we could talk about some ebooks for a little bit because I have been loving my Kindle so much, which is what initially inspired this video. Okay. Is the video done? Apparently my dogs need attention and I need to edit this video so it can go up the same day that I filmed it. So pray for me. But like I said, I've been loving my Kindle lately, so I really wanted to chat with you guys about some of the books that I have downloaded. Maybe you guys can give me some suggestions on Kindle Unlimited books that you really enjoy. And if you like this video, let me know. I would love to do more Kindle videos, like books that I want to download on Kindle Unlimited, but I've reached the borrowing maximum, so I can't yet. I thought that that would be a fun video. And then also like just the other books that I've downloaded and like how I organize my Kindle, things like that. So if any of those ideas sound interesting to you, please let me know. I love you all so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you're doing well reading, mentally and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye guys.